Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite safari guy is here, and I'm gonna take you into the wild jungle of astrology today. Oh, look over there! There is Rahu, the most dangerous planet in the animal kingdom of astrology. I'm gonna go touch it. Yeah. So, today we are going to talk about I won't say the grand transit, but transits of Saturn coming in Scorpio in November. And Saturn is going to be in the sign of Scorpio for literally 2.5 years now. Because now Saturn is completing Libra, going into Scorpio according to Vedic astrology, not Western. All you Western folks out there, don't get pissed, don't get mad, don't start throwing tomatoes at your screen because you're going to destroy your computer. Not me, it's not real. I'm not on stage, this is virtual reality. Okay? So yes, according to Vedic astrology, Saturn is going to be entering Scorpio. And for those who even want to see what the real astronomer look in the sky, because look, you have to look at the sky, right? You have to see the planetary position in the sky as the ancient world did. In the ancient world, you looked up in the sky and say, oh, this is the portion that the Saturn is in. Okay. So if you download any astronomy app, I think it's called The Sky or just Planets, if you type it in onto the App Store and you point your cell phone onto the sky, you will see all the planets at night or in the daytime. And they will tell you what constellation and the zodiac sign the planets in. And if you look at right now with Saturn, he's just leaving Libra. So it's not even a Vedic app, it's like actual astronomical app. So anyway, we're talking about Saturn in Scorpio, and if you do not know where your Saturn is placed and what house has your sign of Scorpio in, because the transits of Saturn in Scorpio will affect whatever house it's going to transit in. Okay, so if you don't know any of this information, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including my new magazine on career and destiny. And on the page second of the report here, or the first page actually, you will see, second page, you will see a chart, birth chart with all the planets in each houses, and it's very, very simple to understand, and you'll know exactly where your Saturn is. Especially option 6 is for people who do not know anything about astrology and want to know where their Saturn is placed and what house it's transiting. For that, check out the option 6 here. Now, Scorpio. Let's talk about the sign of Scorpio, this watery sign. Okay? This Tamasic sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, as they say, it's a very intense sign, very sexual sign. That is true. But what is the key word that Scorpio represents? If you wanted to sum it up in one word, and remember, this is your SATs exam. This is your IIS exam, your IAS officer exam. They asked you one question. You'll be a IAS officer if you can just answer this one question. What is Scorpio in one word? That word would be transformation. Transformation, like turning this top into a belt. That's a transformation. This thing just suddenly turned into this. That's a dramatic transformation. That's what Scorpio represents. This is why you may see somebody, let's say, who might have been a killer. And yet once they come out of jail, they suddenly become a sadhu. They become a guru. They become a spiritual teacher. That's transformation. Scorpio also represents the unknown because it's the 8th house energy. So wherever Scorpio is, that's the house you have the hardest time decoding because you don't know what you're going to get. It's like the Pandora's box. You put your hand in, you either might get a dinosaur or you might get a canary diamond. That's how chaotic the sign of Scorpio is. And Scorpio sure represents sexual, intercourse and sexual relationship because it's originally the 8th house. Because 7th house is marriage, gain of the 7th house is the sexual relationship. Scorpio is a very psychologically oriented sign. Scorpio always like to get bottom of things. Scorpio energy wants to go within you and extract the deepest secrets and bring it out. This is why the 8th house energy or the sign of Scorpio represents this chaotic transformation. So if your Mars transits the sign of Scorpio, can cause sudden havoc, for good or for the bad. Any other planet, let's say Venus transits Scorpio, you may start to have a lot of sexual relationships. With your wife, you may start to have a sexual relationship. And Venus may bring sudden transformation in relationships as well. But also what Scorpio represents is cleaning out the house. Kind of like what I'm doing right now with Aradhana Nakshatra. It's transformation through destruction. This destroy something, bulldoze it, clean it out, and let's build something else. Why? Because Scorpio is foundation. Scorpio represents foundation, things that are buried underground. What is buried underground? Gems, sure. Dead bodies, sure. Scorpio. Petroleum, sure. Scorpio. But Scorpio also represents foundation of anything. Any house, any foundation you go for any house, it's Scorpio. So now Saturn, through its early movements, is now will enter into Scorpio on November. So now we want to see what is Saturn and how is it going to impact the sign of Scorpio. So now what is Saturn? Well, if you had to describe Saturn in one word, and your SAT score was depending upon it, your IAS exam was dependent upon it, what is Saturn? Saturn, again, represents what? What does Saturn represents? Easiest thing in the world. Saturn represents transformation as well. Scorpio is transformation, Saturn is transformation. This is why all this says Sade Sati, something known as Dhaya in Vedic Astrology. Your Saturn return, your Saturn Mahadasha. All of these things are meant to transform you into something else. This is why Saturn becomes transformation. Why? Why is this Saturn also known as transformation besides what I've just described? Because Saturn is the Karka of the 8th house. Saturn controls transformation. Sure, Saturn shows discipline, organization, structure, routine, repetitive work. It represents servants, it represents handicapped people, it represents oil because it's the Karka of the 8th house, it represents iron, steel, Superman, Spider-Man. But mainly Saturn is transformation. So what happens when these two energies collide? Well, remember, Saturn is a very slow-moving planet. Wherever it sits, wherever it transits, it slows things down of that house. It makes you concentrate on that house. So when Saturn is in Scorpio, whether it's in your birth chart or whether it's transiting, what happens is, especially with transit, okay, what Saturn will do in the sign of Scorpio is Saturn is going to give you patience to look into the foundation of your life. Saturn is going to say, oh, take a break. Take a break and look how your foundation is right now. Is it strong? Is it weak? If it's weak, you better make it strong. Because as soon as I go into Sagittarius, you will no longer have the chance to fix this foundation. And this is what Saturn will do even when he comes as a Saturn return. Saturn, whichever house that Saturn is transiting in your house, it's going to make you realize that, hey, look at the foundation of this house. Is it something that is strong enough for you to move forward? Well, if it needs to be fixed, fix it. Let's say if Saturn is transiting your 10th house. You are a Aquarius ascendant, and Scorpio is a sign that is in your 10th house, and Saturn is going over that. Saturn is going to say, are you in the right career? Are you following the right path? And this is where transformation will slow down. The dramatic side of transformation will slow down. Because remember, wherever Saturn sits, he subdues that house. Whether negative or positive, he'll subdue it. This is why Saturn is so powerful in the 6th house. In 6th house, he subdues the enemy, 6th house, aspects the 8th house, prolongs your life and gives you a healthy life. Aspects the 12th house, slows down your expenses. You're very cautious with how you spend your money. And 3rd house, he makes you give the results of your fruit, of your labor. Fruits of your labor. So now Saturn is in the sign of Scorpio. He is not, as much as people say, and I've seen this in my own experience, as much as people say, oh my God, Saturn is going to be so havoc and so negative. What you don't understand, I've seen more negative in Libra than in Scorpio. Because Scorpio, people who are scared, who are feeling, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Suddenly they feel like, oh, I know what I need to do. I need to do this. So Saturn here makes you slow down and look into the heart of things. So if it's in the 5th house, you will go into the heart of the matter of the 5th house. You will see, are you on the right track with your education if you're in that age? Are you having a right relationship with your children? Do you need to work on children? Do you think this time to have children? Saturn will make you go to the root of things. If you cannot have children, and you're like, let's say between your 20s and 40s, you should be lucky that this Saturn is now coming into your 5th house axis. Saturn will make you go to the bottom of the things and find the root of the evil as to why things are not happening. And that's where this positivity of Saturn comes into play in Scorpio. Because the two karakas of the same energy, the 8th house, is coming together. But what Saturn is this glue that holds that negative transformation and slowly releases it. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Like if somebody's not having kids, they're like, what the hell? They're going to all the doctors, all blah, blah, blah. And suddenly in Saturn transit Scorpio, and the woman finds out that her ovary is actually crunched between certain arteries or certain veins in the body. And they're like, oh, this is why it's not releasing the egg. So what doctor will do, will give you a surgery or operation, will open it up, and now it's released, it's free to do its function. That's what Saturn represents in Scorpio. Here, people feel calm, cool, collective. Kind of like the title of a magazine with Mark Boney. Cool, calm, collective. Because here, you're no longer scared. You're no longer like, oh my God, I'm on a, unbalanced foundation. Saturn now just made it and became a glue on that foundation. And like, okay, I've got this hold for 2.5 years. Make it good if it's bad. So you suddenly feel like, okay, everything's steady now. Everything is like flowing now. Now you look deeper into things. So that's what Saturn does. This is like the one word explanation I can give you is funneling. It's the root. Saturn makes you go to the root of the problem and solves it again. This is why Saturn is very, very powerful in Scorpio versus even like Libra. In Libra, he's positive. He makes you go towards understanding relationships, keeping the relationship steady. Well, now it's time to go to the roots of your problem that have been prolonging for God knows how long, probably for the last 30 years. People in Scorpio and Saturn are kind of people who become racked to riches. So if you have Saturn in Scorpio and Saturn goes over it, what will happen is that you suddenly will find windfall of money. And I've seen this probably, I would say 80% of the time. Whether it's me looking at a celebrity horoscope or whether it's me, coming across people who have made a lot of money during this transit or Saturn return. So it's just simply, you now have to focus on the aspect of life where Saturn is transiting. So Saturn transits your 1st house. You're Scorpio ascendant. What will happen is that Saturn is going to make you concentrate on yourself for the next 2.5 years. You're going to have to work on your self-esteem, your ego, your confidence. Saturn is going to make you realize what is the root cause of your confidence lacking. Because Scorpio people are very intense, yet what happens is Scorpio gets so deep into things that they lose their way. They're like, okay, where I'm at now. I'm in a completely dark tunnel and I've lost myself. Saturn will bring you back. You will finally figure out, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm born to do. This is my confidence. Saturn goes over your 2nd house. Saturn will go to the roots of the evil and bring it out as to why you haven't been able to save money. Why haven't you been able to make money? How are you supposed to be earning money? This is something I look for in my career consultations. all the time, all day long. Second house is so important. It's what you value. Saturn's going to make you go to the roots of the evil and make you realize what you should be valuing instead of what you are. So let's say if you're a, Miss Model and you want to have your Gucci bags, you want to have the Ferrari, and yet you don't care, you're disrespecting everybody. What Saturn here will do will make you realize what you should be valuing. Whether he takes things away and it makes you realize what you value, or he doesn't take things away and makes you realize, okay, you should be valuing this stuff too. That's what Saturn does. So for people who do act very egoistically regarding their money and wealth, in the second house, Saturn is going to make you focus on the root cause of what you should be valuing. So here a poor person becomes rich because suddenly poor person realizes how Saturn does it, whether it's some old wise guy coming in your life and saying, my goodness, you're supposed to be a rocket scientist. What are you doing being a homeless? You're a genius in mathematics. Well, the guy finds it, oh my God, that's right. Why didn't I do this? Blah, blah, blah. He becomes a genius. Okay, that's what Saturn does. In the third house, Saturn is going to make you realize the root cause of your lack of communication. Why haven't you been verbal? Why haven't you been able to communicate? Why is it that you never seem to find the information you want to find? What is the cause of your bad relationship with the siblings, younger siblings? Saturn will go to the cause of that, make you realize that, okay, this is the cause, let's fix it. He's going to transform the house. And so through gaining information, through gaining the root cause of things, you will be able to improve upon your communication, upon your willpower, your stamina, your efforts. Saturn in the third house specifically will show you where your efforts needs to go, where your efforts needs to be. In the fourth house, and especially fourth house, Saturn will show you why is it that you haven't been able to gain a property. What is the root cause of you not being happy? Why are you not happy? Because fourth house is the house of happiness, right? Saturn will make you go to the root cause. Without you ever even if you sit on a step and for the next 2.5 years, something will happen where it make you realize, okay, this is what's causing you unhappiness. Maybe you're in a bad marriage. So in a negative way, people think, oh yeah, you'll get divorced. But you don't realize that you figure out, oh, I'm in a bad marriage. I just realized it. I'm being abusive, or they're abusing me. Whatever the cause is, it makes you realize the root cause to fix that problem. If you're not getting a house, perhaps you have bad credit. Saturn suddenly makes you realize, oh, it's because of this credit, this thing that went in my credit report and now I can't get a house. It'll make you go fix it. And that's the beauty about Saturn in Scorpio. He makes you fix those things before he leaves. Fifth house matter I was talking about, education, children. He's going to want to make you fix things as to why you haven't been able to get your education. Why is that you haven't been able to succeed in speculative business? Why haven't you had a good relationship with your children? Why haven't you had a kid yet? Well, let's figure out why you haven't had a kid yet. So the problem here is that you going through the process of that finding out, it feels like, oh my God, this is torment on me. I hate Saturn in Scorpio. But it's like that thing where let's say you have some wood chip stuck in your hand and somebody's trying to get it. The process of getting it hurts, right? But once it's out, and in that half a second, that pain dissipates. You realize, oh my God, thank God he actually just went in there against my will and pulled it out, because I would still be in pain. So it's better to feel the pain and go to the root cause and get it out. In sixth house, it'll be very powerful for you. If you're a Gemini ascendant, it'll be in the sixth house. He will show you who is trying to destroy you. He will expose your enemies. In the sixth house, Saturn will show you this person is trying to go against you. This person is not letting you borrow money. He's trying to destroy your business, trying to destroy your reputation. This is the root cause of your illnesses. If you're overweight, he's going to make you go on a diet. You watch. You better enjoy your, double cheeseburgers and your barbecue ribs right now, because once Saturn comes in the sixth house, He will go to the root cause as to why are you unhealthy? Well, this is why. And then he's going to make you fix it. 7th house, beautiful transit for Saturn. For Taurus ascendant people, Saturn is going to come in. And if you're having bad marriage, bad relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, he's going to go to the root cause of why the relationship is bad. And he's going to make you want to fix it. Whether if it's a breakup, whether if it's you improving on your relationship. But he's going to show you. Perhaps the root cause is that your other spouse is cheating. He's not happy in a sexual relationship with you. Perhaps your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend is depressed. They are not telling you about it. And that's why they're going distant from you. Well, what's going to happen is Saturn probably going to make you realize this, and you're going to take them to a shrink. You're going to take them to a psychiatrist, psychologist. Get to the root cause as to what's causing that depression. And you're going to help them out. The process of it will look painful. There will be fights, argument. They're going to reject help, all of that. But once you actually do it, it's like pulling out that chip. In the 8th house, Saturn is going to make you focus on your health. Focus on your married life. Saturn is going to make you focus on your sexual relationship. Why is it that your sexual relationship has not been great? If it's not been great, he's going to show you why. What's the problem here? Saturn here is not going to make you desperate for sexual relationship either. Because in this 8th house, Saturn kind of calms that 8th house down. You're no longer like an animal, like a wild dog on hormones running after every female dog. As a man, he's going to make you, or as a woman, make you going to calm down. He's going to make you go internal in yourself. And it's going to bring out your true power. That is going to be showing exactly what the problem is. Saturn here is going to show you how to revolutionize things. Especially regarding your work, because remember, Saturn is also, no matter what house he's going through, he's controlling certain houses too. So for Aries ascendant, he's controlling 10th house of work environment, 11th house of gain. In the 8th house, he's making you go to the root cause of the problem. Why is it that your career is not stable? Why is it that your network and friends are not there? Why is it that you're not gaining much in your life? He's going to transform that thing. He's going to make you go and twist that knob and pull it out. And you'll be like, oh, this is why I'm not satisfied in career, because I'm not in the right career. You see? In the 9th house, Saturn is going to make you more faithful. Saturn is going to show you why is it that you are not believing in the right things. Let's say you're in gang. Let's say you are in a company of drug addicts and your highest of morals have completely dissipated. In the 9th house, Saturn makes you go to the root cause of the evil as to why your morals are not high. Why is it that you are not spiritual? Why is it that you're not following your dharma? Perhaps the root cause is your gurus, lack of father's direction. He's going to make you realize, oh, this is the reason why I am not where I am at. He's going to make you more aware of your higher self. In this situation, Saturn is going to make you travel. Saturn's going to make you travel to understand yourself. You know, like those people have that epiphany, oh my God, I need to travel. I'm 45, I don't know where I'm going. And you're going to go to Tibet, you're going to go to Sedona, you're going to go to Peru. That's what Saturn is going to do. He's going to make you realize yourself, who you are, what are your highest morals, what your dharma is, by taking you towards transformation through travel. 10th house, same thing. Why is your reputation is suffering? Why is your work environment suffering? Why is it that you are not getting along with your bosses? Why is it that authorities don't like you? He's going to make you show you. Perhaps it's your lack of education. Perhaps it's your lack of respect for others. Whatever the cause is. Perhaps it's your enemies at work. He's going to expose those enemies. He's going to go to the root of the evil and bring the evil out. Oh, so these guys have been spreading rumors about me in the office. Then you're going to go to your boss and tell, look, this is exactly what's happening. This is why you don't like me. All of this will come out. Or you'll suddenly be in your front of your computer And while Saturn is transiting Scorpio, you'll be like, oh my God, what am I doing? Instead of me programming and doing algorithm and analysis here, I need to be a firefighter. Let me get up. That's it. You're going to go ahead, get up and sign for a firefighter academy. That's the kind of transformation you can have. In the 11th house, Saturn is going to clean up all your bad relationships with friends, all your bad network circle that have maybe taken advantage of you. He's going to make you perhaps get into fight with them, separate you from them, because he wants to clean everything out. He wants to transform your 11th house so you can free it up when the gains, so the gains can come in. Same thing with the 12th house. Saturn is going to make you go towards your subconscious mind. What has been bothering you subconsciously? Why are you having such bad dreams? Why are you not traveling to foreign lands and settling in foreign lands? Saturn's going to make you realize that, okay, the focus is now going to be in foreign lands. I haven't been able to go to foreign lands for the past 35 years. I don't want to be stuck in my state. I don't want to be stuck in my country. I need to move. Saturn will show you, well, you see this? You didn't fill out the right forms. You've been filling out the wrong forms all along. See, you're not supposed to be talking to this person to get your visa. You're supposed to be talking to this person to get the visa. So transiting over to the 12th house, Saturn is going to make you aware of your spiritual life. He's going to make you aware of your subconscious life. Your consciousness, your soul is going to be alive here. Because you're going to find out what is spirituality. He's going to make you go deep towards spirituality any way he has to improve those conditions. Now, if any of these houses are in good condition already, let's say you have a lovely marriage, happy marriage. What Saturn does then, Saturn comes through and transforms it to take it up high, even more. So if your relationship is good, he's going to transform it to a level where he gives you like tons of money so you guys can travel. So you guys can go the things that you want to do in your life. But Saturn, remember, in Scorpio, it only impacts people who are suffering in those houses. Simple. That's it. Saturn, this is why, most of the time I've seen people who say, well, Saturn transited my 7th house and nothing happened. Everything was fine, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do anything as Saturn's supposed to do when it transits the 7th house. Well, that's probably because their 7th house is not suffering. So it doesn't mean that Saturn has to always do something whenever it transits. It only does something for certain population, for certain people whose houses are suffering. Because Saturn comes here, slows things down, makes you realize, fix it, and then it moves on. That's what Saturn is in the sign of Scorpio, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your Saturn is placed and where your other planets are placed, what's transiting, and all the consultations, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report and my books and my consultation, everything. I'll see you tomorrow with Purnavasu Padhawan. Bye-bye.